Hello and welcome to Daily Records. I am Tommy Burton and we are talking about guitar heroes, and one of the modern guitar heroes is Mr. Jack White, and this is the White Stripes album Icky Thump, released on June 15th, 2007. This was the White Stripes' sixth and final studio album, the last thing they ever released. And it was the only album they released on Warner Brothers. And it's a really, really great sounding quality pressing of this album. Now, I know there was a Vault edition that recently came out on colored vinyl, which was in celebration of the 10th anniversary of this album. But this is a great album to seek out, especially if you're fans of the White Stripes. Now, this was a big release when it came out. It came in on the UK charts at number 1, and it debuted at number 2 on the US charts. I believe it was US charts, behind Lost Highway by Bon Jovi. So if that puts a perspective on it. But it was a good seller. It was certified gold, and it actually won a Grammy for Best Alternative Album in 2008. And so Get Behind Me, Satan was the previous album. And Get Behind Me, Satan was a bit more experimental. The band was getting away from that raw sort of garage blues thing. This kind of brought them back into sort of that punk sort of sound that they kind of were known for. And but there's also some elements of some Scottish folk music, some avant-garde. There's Conquest, which has trumpet, and it's Conquest is this sort of conquistador kind of thing. Bagpipes on this album. So there are some different elements here. Also, there's an early White Stripes song, Little Cream Soda, that long-time fans knew. Now, this was recorded and mixed entirely in analog, as is Jack White's preferred method, at least up until recently. Recorded by Joe Ciccarelli in Nashville's Blackbird Studio. Now, Ciccarelli did say that they had already rehearsed and demoed a lot of this material. And if you have, and I'll pull it out here and just show you guys, because I do have it, the Vault edition. I'm not going to undo all of the Vault stuff here. But it features, the Vault edition does feature a lot of the demos and the studio stuff that was being worked on. But in about 3 weeks, they recorded the entire thing. And 3 weeks was the longest of any White Stripes album. And so it kind of differed because they were recording on a 16-track analog as opposed to 8-track. And there was a lot more experimenting. They were trying some different things. Different ways to record the drums or the vocals. They would put different takes together and cut them together. The trumpet player, I mentioned the trumpet playing on Conquest, Regulo Aldama, who played trumpet, he was discovered by Jack White at a local Mexican restaurant. And Jack White even said that fans of the first album, the first White Stripes album, would enjoy this one because it was of the more stripped down sort of rock sound. And so it definitely was kind of more of a return to that sort of thing that put them on the map. Now, Entertainment Weekly did an online interview with Michael Gondry, the film director, and said that he was doing a video for I'm Slowly Turning Into You. And he mentioned sort of the idea that the idea for that video came first, and then Jack White started working on the song to fit the video. Now, before the album was released, there was a Chicago radio station that played the entire record. They did not have the band's permission, and Jack called into the station and kind of was angry about it. And there's been some people that have thought that perhaps the label did that on purpose. interesting. Interesting sort of thing. Now, after the completion, the title of the album, Icky Thump, is derived from Icky Thump, which is a Lancashire colloquial response of surprise, and it was in the Goodies, which was a UK comedy series. And Jack sort of said it was an exclamation by his wife, who was from Lancashire, and so he deliberately misspelled it, and probably to avoid copyright infringement. But that's it in a nutshell. But really a edgy, kind of heavy album. Probably one of the heavier albums the White Stripes ever did. The title track, "You Don't Know What Love Is, You Just Do What You're Told." "Rag and Bone," which is a fun little duet between Jack and Meg. "Catch Hell Blues," "Affecting Calls." All really, really powerful, iconic White Stripes songs. And of course, "I'm Slowly Turning Into You." Just one of the sort of heavier albums. If you're a big fan of Led Zeppelin or that kind of sound, of course, Jack White, big fan of that music. You can tell. Highly influential here, and no exception. So, Icky Thump is today's daily record by the White Stripes. Like, comment, subscribe, share. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter. It's TommyBurton75. I love interacting with you guys. In the meantime, I'll see you all again tomorrow with another daily record.